Hi everyone, I am Ephemer. Welcome to Endless Space 2. We are looking at the Vultures expansion. First of all, thank you very much to Amplitude for giving me an early access to the Vultures DLC. I had time to test the new faction and the new mechanics in the game. And in this new Let's Play, obviously we're going to play the Vultures, but we're also going to look at everything that's new in the game. I can tell you they've done a great work. First, I wasn't sure about the Vultures. I mean, I really like them in Endless Legend, but I wasn't sure how that would transfer into the Endless Space world. And actually, I think the faction is very nice to play, you know, cool mechanics, very different, and what I like above all is their teleportation aspect. So we're going to look at that in a second.
From the vault to the stars.
So we're going to play with the Vultures. They do have the meta-folding faction affinity. And as I was saying, that basically let them teleport between systems where they have a portal built. So you build portal using strategic and industry, and it basically means you can just go from one system to another, or you can create like a spider web of portals to basically teleport anywhere in your core systems. That is very powerful, and I think one of the things I eventually like about Endless Space 2 is that the map itself wasn't that much used in terms of strategic aspect. There wasn't many paths you could take to go from one place to another, and when you're in between two systems on a lane, there's not much you can do. But with this ability to be basically able to teleport between two systems, it makes everything much, I don't know, interesting, because you can have much more strategic into the positioning of your ship, where you defend, where you position your fleets, for example. The Vultures population, if you've played Endless Legend, you would know them. They are a scientific population that is very strong in terms of defense, so they're going to do extra damage to an attacker during a ground battle, which means when they are defending the system. They also have a +1 science, and they are scientists. They are a federation, which if you've watched my beginner's guide for politics, you know that it's probably one of the worst type of government. So we're going to look at trying to change that in the future. They are scientists. It's a very good political party, so pretty happy about that. And they start with the Sisters of Mercy Citizen. It's a minor faction from Endless Legend as well. And they give a boost of, again, damage done during ground battle and a bit of approval. However, their political opinion is religious, which is the opposite of scientists, so we need to keep that in mind. They are involuntary nomads, and that's quite an interesting faction trait, I would think. Basically, it means that you start with this massive ship called the Argosy, and I'm not going to talk too much about the Argosy, we're going to look at that in the game. But basically, whenever you settle on a planet, you don't have an outpost, you get straight to a colony, and that colony has what is called the Golden Age, which means you get +25 pretty much everything on your Fizzy and Massive boost for a certain number of turns, which means that whenever you colonize, you are in a great position, but it's only happening when you colonize. After that, the bonus is gone. I think it's a way of counterbalancing the fact that you cannot colonize faster than your ship, the Argosy, can. The material expertise means they can use strategic resources to do system upgrades, and that gives you great boost for your systems. And actually, let me talk about that in a second. I was going to say it's better to build tall than wide with them, but let me explain why after. So they also have the Corsairs faction trait. Basically, it means they've got the privateer action, they can disguise their ships as pirate ships. I'm not entirely sure about this ability because I think it blends really well with the new content of the DLC, with the diplomacy with the pirates and how pirates can play a role. And because you can send pirates to attack enemy systems, I think this might be pretty good because it can mean you can hide your own fleet as a pirate fleet and basically do not have to declare war to attack someone else. Got Black Thumb number 2, which means they've got less food on their systems. And as I was saying before, I think that suits the Vultures in that they're going to play quite tall. At least that's my opinion. A bit like the Ally in Endless Legend, they don't have that much food, but they've got a strong, they use resources a lot, and they're system upgrade should be better if you've got the correct strategic resources. They also have core words, which means if you don't go over your colonization threshold, you get an approval bonus. And I think because of all of that, if you maintain your number of colonized system to a minimum, obviously not only one like in Endless Legend, but more like 4 to 6, I think you can have a strong core. You get the approval of the bonus, the happiness approval. You can defend very well because of your population type. You can teleport between all of your systems. You don't have to worry too much about building multiple fleets at different edges of your systems. You can use the Corsair ability to send a fleet and attack your enemies. And I think, yeah, the Vultures should be pretty good at that. They start with 2 technologies, the Xenobiology, which basically means more science, and rare earth forms to colonize Mediterranean. So we're going to select them. And before we jump into the game, let me just mention the few settings I'm going to use for this game. So obviously we've got the Vultures expansion setup. We're going to play with 7 competitors. We're going to play in fast. This is basically because I want this Let's Play to be short, but be aware that there are differences between normal and fast. For example, you still have the same speed for your fleet, but obviously everything is built faster. So your technological advantage, for example, when you do a rush early on, is not the same. We're going to play in endless difficulty. So before, in my previous Let's Play, I was always putting the difficulty on impossible, but this time, I feel like finally it's time to move on to endless difficulty. We're going to put the pirates difficulty to hard as well, and you'll see that we do a lot of pirates management, I would say, in the game. We're going to have a minor civilization quantity of medium and difficulty normal. Don't think they add that much right now into the game. Maybe a bit more for certain factions like the Vodiani or the United Empire. For Vultures, not that important, so we're just going to leave it as normal. Apart from that, we're going to toggle on all the different events and we're going to turn off the score victory. And in terms of galaxy, we're going to go with an ovoid shape, and we're going to go with a large galaxy. I think before I was going for something a bit smaller, but I think I want a bit more space now. I think before there was just too many factions everywhere and not enough space to expand. Let's look a little bit at the detail. We've got normal age structure, node connectivity medium, nothing crazy here. I'm not too sure about all of that, special node, curiosity, anomaly, and resource. I think I'm going to go with special nodes low frequency. And importantly, I'm going to put resources as normal. So basically, I could make the game easier for me if I just put like strategics everywhere and very good, boost for all the systems, but I think it wouldn't be fun then. So we're going to put a few number of constellation. I could even go with unique, because I think the Vultures could have fun, like teleporting between one system or the other. I actually kind of like having a few number of constellation. Much better than many, because it means you need to have better technology to be able to take advantage of that. And galaxy density high. We want some systems, at least a good number of systems. So let's jump into the game and we're going to look at what the Vultures can do. And once again, please remember this is an early access of the Vultures DLC, which is coming out pretty soon at the time I'm publishing this video. And honestly, it's a bargain at that price, because the faction is great to play and the minor additions to the different modules and the pirates are really good. So let's look and watch the introduction of the Vultures.
Is this the end of our voyage? We had such hopes at the beginning, though we left in sorrow and desperation. But while they slept through the explosion, I have stayed awake for centuries, doing what I could to keep them alive. To save Zolia, first of the bloodline. But our power, my power, is fading. I can do nothing more for my people. people. The Vultures.
And here we are. So, I don't know if you know the lore of the Endless World, but Endless Legend and Endless Space 2 and Endless Space 1 as well are both taking place in the same universe. And basically the Vultures managed to escape Auriga, which was a dying planet, and they are the only survivors. And the droid you've seen in the introduction is Upbot, which is basically the one that saved the Vultures population. So we found the planet Sahar. So Sahar at first appears to be just another dry planet, devoid of anything other than simplest life forms, faint geometric patterns that beg to be investigated, seems to be etched on its surface. Okay, so basically we found a unique planet there, which would be good to colonize, because it's a very good planet in terms of industry. So we start on a spatial node, that one. And we do have already 1, 2, 3, 4 systems around us that we could colonize. Only 3 we can colonize right now. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good start. Obviously, it's interesting because the Vultures are the only faction with the Voidianis that don't start on a system with a home planet, I would say. Although the Voidiani does, but they are on an arc, so it doesn't freak out. We do have our leader. So we've got that spatial ship called the Argoni, and it has pretty good stats. A lot of movement speed. You can look at it there. It has 3 positioning, 3 modules. Obviously, right now all movement points, and they are our colonization ship. So they can colonize in 1 turn, and obviously we're going to do that right now. So, which one do we want? This one seems there's a lot of anomalies. One detrimental anomaly here, we could colonize this Ocean one, or the Borea. They're kind of mixed in terms of physics. Then we do have Phaeton, which only has 1 colonizable planet, which is an atoll, a very good one. Good in food, average in the rest. Over there we've got Pictor, and Pictor seems to be pretty good in terms of industry. So large lava ash, small desert, small toxic. And finally we got Ingress, and I think Ingress seems like a very good starting point. So I thought it was a very good starting point because it has an average titanium deposit. However, this has a Kessler syndrome, which is actually a pretty bad anomaly. We could also, colonize this tiny Boreal, but it doesn't have it doesn't have any industry. Sorry. So a difficult choice to make. It would be good to know the different kind of anomalies that are here. But the thing is, we do not have any exploration ship.
Resilient people that have spent centuries seeking a home. Stranded on the world of Auriga, they had to survive the harsh climate.
So they managed to repair their ancient colony ship, the Argosy, and now they depart again from the dyke planet Auriga. Once more against the stars, the people that now call themselves the Aurigans still seek traces of their past. Okay. And we do have discovered super spuds. And we've got that node. Look at that. The nose. All the dust from that node. It's pretty good. So what do we do? It's very important with... I mean, it's not very important. It's probably the key for the Vultures to have strategic resources in the game, because that's what you use, to upgrade all systems and also get your Argosy back into shape and colonize earlier than you should be able to. So we'll see that very soon. So even though this is not the greatest system, I'm going to colonize here. And the only reason is I want that titanium. And because I'm going to get that early boost, because of one of my faction trait, my stats are going to be decent. And at least I'll be able to use my exploration ship, which just appeared, to look at what would be a good second system, and hopefully that's gonna help me. So first thing first, I've got my exploration ship here, which means I can now research that. It's possibly an anomaly. Nodes revealed. The nodes linked to Ingrid has been revealed. So it means, okay, we know that there's Trime there. And Trime has a huge Boreal, so it's pretty good. I mean, I would like a very cold system or a very hot system to have specialization. However, it has a beneficial anomaly and 2 other curiosities there. That's good to know. I think this one might be a good one to colonize soon, or Phaeton, for what it's worth, especially because of Sahar. So we do have this ship here with probes, and zoom out, we can see that we're in that right side of the galaxy. So I'm going to use the rest of my probes. I'm going to send another one in that direction, like that. And what I'm going to do straight away, actually no, am I going to do that right now? Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to retrofit that guy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace its defense module by another movement module. This is because I want to do as much exploration as possible, and I want to find that. I want to find strategic resources. So now I've got 2 solutions. Either I go here and I look at these 3 curiosities, which should give me a good chance of finding something, or I go here and I look at these ones. Obviously I can colonize this or this, so let's look at what we have here. High chance of anomaly, high chance of anomaly, another high chance of anomaly, and a potential high chance of strategic resources. So this could be a very good place to find, for example, Hyperium or Titanium. Over there we do have anomaly, anomaly, and anomaly, so not likely to get any strategic resources. In Trime, however, we do have only this one that is colonizable at the moment, and it's an anomaly one. So I think because of that, I'm going to send this guy to Wyrix. So now that I've colonized, I already have the colony straight away. So turn 1, I got it. I don't have any problem compared to the other factions. However, I cannot create another colony because the Argosy needs to resupply. So I can see that it's going to take 2 turns to do that. And once it's back, you'll see how the Golden Age works and everything. In terms of building here, the way I'm going to build stuff, and it's usually do the same with the Vultures, is more industry, take advantage of that Golden Age to pump out as much as I can. And then I'm going to do cerebral reality, exploration vessel, and then public-private partnership. So we're going to get a fantastic boost in science because of our Golden Age, plus 50 Golden Age. Currently having a Golden Age, which means I get a lot of boost for everything. I think, so it says only 4 turns. I think that this Golden Age, the stats you see, is relative to normal speed, because when you hover over that, you see it's getting plus 50 from the Golden Age. I'm pretty sure this is double because of the fact that I'm playing in fast. Anyway, the Golden Age only lasts for a certain time, so we want to make sure we take most of it, and we need to build that exploration ship. Basically, we're going to send one exploration ship to the north and the other one to the south. Victor could be interesting later on. It has so many beneficial anomalies, it's definitely a place you want, but we cannot access it yet. What are we going to research? Well, first of all, xenolinguistic, because we want that sweet titanium. After that, we've got multiple choices. We could go for xenosynergy to have diplomacy with minor factions. We've got one minor faction just there. We could go for advanced scanners and also more free movement for all ships. That's easy if we want to go to Pictor, for example. We could get Hyperion, that is if we have Hyperion. One thing we're going to research pretty quickly is galactic commodities. So this is definitely going to be very good for us, and the reason is because we do we're going to have a lot of strategic resources to sell. We're going to use the marketplace to get a lot of dust using that. We will build some military technologies later on, that's for sure. And one thing I quite like is that because we are scientists, we do have Oracle of Science, which means we can research technologies from the next stage of technologies. So it basically means even if I haven't researched anything on level 1, stage 1 of Empire development, I can be researching in stage 2. And what I think I'm going to do, and that is if I don't have any neighbors, I'm going to completely bypass the first type of ship, right? And I'm going to jump straight into the medium size. That's kind of dangerous, but I think it can give me an advantage compared to other factions. So for now, we're just going to research that, and then we're going to look at what we find in the next turn. Have I forgotten anything? In terms of laws, there's no active law I would like to pass right now. Obviously, we don't want to change, and we cannot change the government. We will probably go on to Republic later on. And I think that's it. So let's jump into turn 2. Oh yeah, that's it. I forgot something. So we're going to assign Petrodjuvka as the governor of this system. And we can move on. And it's already 20 minutes and it's only one turn. So we've discovered a new minor civilization, the Gnashast. They are warmongers. Okay, they provide more manpower than other faction, monstrous opponent, and these guys are pretty good. Let's make first contact with them. So it might be good to start spending our influence talking to minor factions. So where are they? Over there, okay. So we've discovered a black hole here. Finish building that. We've unlocked a new stage for economy and trade, and we've researched that. So it means we're going to get 4.5 titanium per turn. So let's move that exploration ship here and see what we have. So we have 4 probes. So we're going to look at that. So we've radiated. So that's a detrimental anomaly. That's not great. Experience on ship, super spuds, and Hyperion. Okay, at least that's good news, but it's a detrimental anomaly, so not great start. Super spuds here as well. So if we want Hyperion, we can go here with our Argosy. Obviously, the Argosy will be ready in one turn. Is it wise to go there? I think probably yes. We could also maybe go to Trine. But yeah, no, there's no strategic resources. So let's maximize our strategic resources output and let's go here. However, I think we're gonna need to get to Pictor. So Pictor would be great, but it means ash, desert, or toxic. So if we look here, to research ash, we need to research that. It's going to take one turn, so we can do that. Lava, I think, is level 3, and toxic is level 3 as well, stage 3 I would say, and desert is 3 as well. So not something we can get right now, straight away. So what's interesting right now? Well, as I said before, it could be good to have xenosynergy to do diplomacy with the minor faction. We could get the Hyperion, but we don't need that right now. We can get planetary landscaping. We're gonna need the food if we want some growth. But obviously we can't build it right now. So I think the order will be that, then the Hyperion, then this, and oh, which one did I kept? Oh yeah, this one. Do we want that one right now? That one, by the way, is great for the Vultures because it has filtered barges, unique improvement, once per empire, but it gives a great early boost on Titanium and Hyperion, which is just fantastic. However, we will queue it later on. So that's our, technology queue for now. So with that guy, I'm just gonna wait here, and we're gonna explore these nodes. And that's it for now. I think that will be all for our first Let's Play episode with the Vultures. Once again, thanks for Amplitude to give me the chance of having an early access to this DLC, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.